2021 NFL offseason has been nothing short of entertaining so far, with a wide range of storylines and news making the airwaves. Perhaps the biggest one was revealed on Thursday, April 29th, just hours before the NFL draft began. ESPN's Adam Schefter dropped a bombshell report revealing that Green Bay Packers quarterback and current NFL MVP Aaron Rodgers does not want to return to the Packers. He has yet to officially request a trade, however, it is clear that he is not happy and that he wants out. It has been evident that Rodgers has been disgruntled with the Packers organization for some time, and that reached full-fledged 1 year ago during the 2020 NFL Draft when the Packers traded up in the first round to select Jordan Love. A team trading up to select a quarterback in the first round can only mean one thing, and that is they are looking towards the future and that they believe their current option will not be as good now. As Rodgers was 36 years old at the time of the 2020 draft, they believed that his decline will occur soon. However, this is Aaron Rodgers who we're talking about, one of the best quarterbacks of all time. He went out and won MVP, and to quote Michael Jordan, Rodgers took it personally, and rightly so. Meanwhile, Jordan Love failed to appear in a single game during the 2020 season. The Packers trading up to select Jordan Love was a surprise to absolutely everybody, including Aaron Rodgers himself. Rodgers mentioned how he was not aware that the Packers were taking a quarterback in the first round, and to put it simply, that is as much of a slap in the face as possible to him. The Packers won 13 games for the second straight season in 2020, but were eliminated in the NFC Championship game, also for the second straight season, at home to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Packers notably kicked a controversial field goal on fourth down while losing by 8 points late in the fourth quarter while deep in the Buccaneers' territory. And Rodgers mentioned after the game that, quote, "It wasn't my decision to kick the field goal." He also mentioned that, quote, "A lot of guys' futures are uncertain, myself included." Those statements were a large talking point the following week as Rodgers put his frustration on full display. Now, Aaron Rodgers has a reputation for being one of the most egotistic players in the NFL. That isn't an insult or criticism, it's just who he is as both a person and a professional athlete. He does not seem like the type of person who is easily forgivable, and this likely means that his mind is 100% made up. Teammates and former teammates close to him have confirmed his feelings of frustration and emphasized it some more. The Packers will deny interest in trading him, however, there may very well come a point that they have to. The question now becomes which team will he be traded to if a trade happens. 3 teams that I believe could be good spots for him are the Denver Broncos, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Washington Football Team. The San Francisco 49ers would be the team most likely to trade for him if they didn't draft the quarterback themselves with the 3rd overall pick in the draft. I will come up with hypothetical trade packages for these 3 teams and will do so to the best of my abilities. Firstly, let's start with the Denver Broncos. The Broncos have been the team that has been the most closely linked to trading for Aaron Rodgers since the rumors came out. The Drew Lock experiment did not work out the way the Broncos would have hoped, and they already addressed the quarterback need this offseason by trading for Teddy Bridgewater. It was assumed that Bridgewater and Locke would likely compete with each other for the starting job. However, as the Broncos held the 9th overall pick in the draft, selecting a quarterback was not out of the question, and they ultimately had an opportunity to do so, but wound up selecting cornerback Patrick Surtain Jr. instead. Selecting a QB would have taken them out of the Rodgers sweepstakes, much like the 49ers, but ultimately they did not. Now, what would they give up for Rodgers? I believe that they would have to trade 2 future first-round picks, ideally in 2022 and 2023, 2 second-round picks in the same years, and an impact player such as a Bradley Chubb, a Jerry Jeudy, a Courtland Sutton, or heck, even Patrick Surtain. The question now becomes which impact player would Denver be willing to give up? Each of those players mentioned can be Pro Bowlers, and I personally do not think they will be able to get Rodgers without giving one of them up. I am no NFL GM though, and they might be able to do so. If they hang on to all 4 of those guys, then the Broncos got a home run deal. But the opportunity for Green Bay to get a package with picks and a young Pro Bowl caliber player gives Denver the best package to me. Of course, the Broncos have a history of acquiring aging superstars at the quarterback position as they signed Peyton Manning prior to the 2012 season. They ended up making 2 Super Bowls with Manning, winning 1, and Manning had arguably the greatest single season ever for a quarterback in 2013. There were a lot of questions surrounding whether or not Manning would regain his prior form with Denver as he was coming off a severe injury, and those questions were quickly answered. If they acquire Rodgers, they would immediately enter a Super Bowl window as they did with Manning in 2012, and there would also be no questions about Rodgers' health or whether or not he can regain his previous form, as he is the reigning MVP. Mile High would become must-see TV once again, and Rodgers would flourish in the Broncos offense as Manning did before him. Next, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. The second most mentioned team that has been linked to trading for Rodgers, the Raiders have been stuck in a pattern of mediocrity ever since losing the Super Bowl in 2003. Quarterback Derek Carr had a very promising start to his career with 3 Pro Bowl appearances. However, since then, he has been seen as an above-average starter with a ceiling. He is not a bad quarterback by any means, however, Rodgers would most certainly be an upgrade. Since moving to Las Vegas last season, the Raiders haven't exactly offered a product that suits the entertainment capital of the world. However, acquiring Aaron Rodgers changes that. Right now, the Raiders have 3 primetime games this season. If Rodgers is acquired, they will have as many as any team in the league. All eyes will be on Vegas, and the league will benefit from one of the classic franchises entering the spotlight once again. Now, what do the Raiders have to offer? I believe that everyone is on the table except for tight end Darren Waller. Running back Josh Jacobs could be offered, however, it is not very likely that Green Bay would ask for him given that they just signed running back of their own, Aaron Jones, to a long-term deal. Again, I am no NFL GM, however, I would assume that this package would have to include more draft capital than the Broncos can offer. The Raiders have made some questionable draft picks recently, however, they have young talent that can be offered, although these players aren't yet at a Pro Bowl level. My hypothetical proposal would be 3 first-round picks in 2022, 2023, and 2024, as well as 2 second-round picks in 2022 and 2023, and a young player such as Hunter Renfrow, Damon Arnett, or Cleveland Farrell. The Packers could get Carr in return, however, as is the case with acquiring Drew Lock from Denver, Jordan Love is not going anywhere and will be the presumed starting quarterback if Rodgers is moved. I don't believe this package is as strong as the package the Broncos can offer. However, if the Packers are committed to stocking up on picks and building through the draft like they are known to do, this could be the deal that they want to complete. Vegas, on the other hand, would become a playoff team and could be in the mix for a Super Bowl very soon. Finally, we have the Washington football team. The football team hasn't been mentioned in rumors nearly as much as the other 2 teams. However, I believe that they have what it takes to offer a solid trade package. The football team won what was known as the NFC Least last season, with Dwayne Haskins, Alex Smith, and Taylor Heineke all getting starts at quarterback. Haskins and Smith are gone, and Ryan Fitzpatrick has been added to the mix with Heineke as an off-season free agent signing. As much of a legend as Fitzmagic may be, he is not the quarterback of the future. Although the Fitzmagic signing was still made, the football team was rumored to be in the mix for a quarterback during the draft. They did not end up with a quarterback though in the first round, and that is why I believe they can offer a package for Rodgers. In my opinion, everyone is on the table except for Terry McLaurin and Chase Young. Besides Chase Young, the football team has a defensive line that boasts the likes of Daron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Matt Ioannidis, and Montez Sweat. Together with Young, that gives Washington arguably the best defensive line in the league, and one that is very young, no pun intended. Chase Young has the potential to be a first-team All-Pro Defensive Player of the Year caliber player, and he is too valuable of an asset to give up. And the sky is also the limit for Terry McLaurin, who is one of the best young wide receivers in the league, even though he has only had below average to average quarterback play so far in his NFL career. However, Washington can afford to give up one of those other players. A hypothetical trade offer could be 2 future first-round picks, 2 future second-round picks, and one of Daron Payne, Montez Sweat, and Jonathan Allen. Green Bay gets a young defensive player who can be a Pro Bowler soon, as well as draft capital, and Washington's Super Bowl window suddenly bursts wide open, and they will be in the mix the next few years. A Rodgers trade will mark the first time in NFL history that the reigning MVP plays for a different team the following season. It would be a trade of historic proportions and would shake up the league for many years to come. There is a possibility, of course, that no trade happens, but all signs point towards him not playing for the Packers anymore. Thank you so much for listening to the inaugural Outside the Court episode. Make sure to give us a follow on all social media platforms, and I hope you all have a great day.